previously able to do that, but I'm on it now.
All right, great. Thank you for that, Braveheart. Hey, I am going to have to go ahead and back on out of here. And I heard, was that Tex or was that Ninja? I just heard you in there for a moment, but and then Indy, I know you're in there as well. I'm going to turn it over to you guys. I've got to get going. I've got to get to the office. I've got a few things I need to do there, and then if I can, I'll jump back on when I'm at the office. But I'm going to have to back out and get going with the rest of my day here.
Sounds good. Thank you, Thumper.
Thank you, Braveheart. I appreciate you being there. Indy, you've been an awesome partner on here this morning. Thank you so much. And we'll move on.
Have a good one, Thumper.
Thank you, Braveheart.
Take care, Thumper. I did see a lot of folks out in YouTube chat wanting to talk about the Trump tweets and in relation to everything else that has been being discussed. I think there's a lot of information in there. I think there was some information that was possibly a little bit of a coded message. So if y'all are okay with it, I'll read through the Trump tweets from today, and we'll kind of talk about their meaning.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
And how you doing, Braveheart? It was a pleasure to get to meet you in D.C. over the weekend.
Yeah, you too. Amazing. I'm still reeling, but back to reality for me, I guess, now. So, yeah, I've been busy at work and haven't been able to get on much, and trying to catch up with everything that happened over the weekend that's happening now has been a challenge. I figured I'll jump in during my lunch break and try and catch it later in the evening, too. So that's about, my my online presence this week.
I understand completely. I've been under the same gun of getting caught up, and I had a AT&T internet outage yesterday that kind of hindered me back a little bit, so I feel you.
Yeah, I probably got about another 30 minutes, just warning ahead.
All right, going into the Trump tweets, we have the first one from 7 hours ago. It says, the failing New York Times wrote another phony story. It was political pundit Doug Schoen, not a Ukrainian businessman, who asked me to do a short speech by phone, parentheses Skype, hosted by Doug in Ukraine. I was very positive about Ukraine, another negative to the fake Russia C story. So what do you guys think about what do you think about that? What do you think he's saying there with the fake C story?
So originally I thought that was the collusion, but I did see a lot of chatter on Twitter actually thinking that it meant Clinton. I'm not sure what to, initially I thought collusion, but then he could have spelled that out and not put it in parentheses or quotes, but he did. So it could be Clinton very well.
I was thinking collusion too, because he tied it with the fake Russian C story. So that's kind of where my brain went on it.
Yeah, I didn't. For me, too, the Clinton connection. Is it because of her? Yes, but not solely. I mean, that collusion story has been every Democrat who could ride that train since. So, I mean, I would assume it's collusion. I really lean more towards that than anything else.
All right. We got the next one, which was also 7 hours. I don't have them pulled up individually, so I can't give you the exact time. It says, so much fake news about what is going on in the White House. Very calm and calculated, with a big focus on open and fair trade with China, the coming North Korea meeting, and of course, the vicious gas attack in Syria. Feels great to have Bolton and Larry K on board. We are doing things that nobody thought possible, despite the never-ending and corrupt Russia investigation, which takes tremendous time and focus. No collusion or obstruction other than I fight back. So now they do the unthinkable and raid a lawyer's office for information. Bad.
Yeah, that's pretty straightforward there. And then, but we did have that Q post regarding Admiral Rogers. I think that same day that picture showed up, and Q was pointing out that Admiral Rogers was next to Pence and Trump in that picture.
Smells like a big heaping bowl of desperation, is what it sounds like to me.
Oh yeah, for sure. And there's people out there in YouTube that who is it, BR76? Does anyone remember how he sent over battleships and North Korea came to the table? Q said Iran next. I can't believe that Trump will bomb Syria. You know what? I can't believe that either. I think we're seeing a whole lot of theater. This is just my opinion. But yeah, I don't think any of us who have been, reading all of the Q posts with any skeptical, and very aware thinking, really truly believe that this is as critical as the media and even the rhinos, the deep state would have us believe. So, I mean, just everything else in the background from this is screaming, it's just relax a little bit.
And just put it out there, Cutie's Cutie out there in YouTube Patriot land points out in the tweet, the second part of the tweet that I just read that starts out doing things. When you look at the capitalized letters that are in there, you've got Russia, investigation, collusion, and obstruction. So if you put that together, it's RICO. And so we know that we know what RICO is and kind of how that ties into all the other things that we know as far as the organized criminal activity of the deep state or the cabal. I thought that was an interesting read from Cutie's Cutie out there in YouTube land.
Oh, good find, Cutie. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and look at that closer.
Hey, say that name 5 times fast.
Okay, I just did that silently. Thanks, Cindy.
I'm not up for the challenge, so I'm going to pass on that one, Indy.
Oh, just play the game.
And I want to throw in there that there was a graphic that I put up earlier in Discord, and someone, one of the mods, I don't remember which one, over in YouTube had posted the link to the Reddit where that graphic was, that ties together all of the events with Zuckerberg and Facebook and the campaign donations along with the Mueller investigation and all that. And I agree with what that graphic was pointing out with all of the evidence that was in it. Basically that that the Mueller investigation up until this point was really leading up to the moment when that raid took place. In order to, you got to think of it from a Trojan horse standpoint, the same way they did with the information the other day, and I'll grab that here in just a second and expound on that. But it was with the Cambridge Analytica. The way that the Cambridge Analytica and the Facebook privacy violations reached the mainstream media was because Cambridge Analytica was who the Trump campaign used for a lot of their social media work. And so the mainstream media picked that story up because of the Trump ties to it. But ultimately what it's done is it's exposed Facebook, and it will expose all the rest of these social media platforms for their extreme violation of privacy and the censorship that they've been having. Well, we're seeing the same thing with this raid take place. They raided to get the information, hoping to catch Trump in taking campaign donations from this Pinchuk guy, which we know was, I believe, 150,000 is what he received from Pinchuk, but which has Russian ties. But what it's going to ultimately do is expose the fact that the Clinton Foundation received over $1.5 million from the same guy, and so they're using these Trojan horse methods in order to get the news that they need into the mainstream media cycle and putting it under the guise of it being a Trump connection. But ultimately, what it's going to do is expose the fact that there's a much larger Hillary connection there.
Yeah, I find it amazing. That's the Trump curse, but it's also backfiring. Everything that they've tried so far and will try, unfortunately. I mean, Trump is, I mean, they've got nothing, and it keeps backfiring on them. It's like every time they do something, we find something that points to the other side, or in the other direction, rather. So I find that actually hilarious, that no matter what they try, no matter what they bring out, it doesn't point at Trump. It points elsewhere.
Yeah, and the mainstream media is so desperate that they can't help but take the bait. I mean, they are looking for something that will be a smoking gun for their base so deeply that as soon as they see anything that looks like it's got any sort of nefarious ties to Trump, they're jumping all over it, and it shows you how little investigative work they do, because if they would just dig one layer deeper, they would find that Trump may be the Trump connection, may be the icing on the donut, but the donut itself is ties to the Clinton Foundation or to the DNC, and they're missing the entire point. They're getting caught up in the sprinkles, so to speak.
Exactly, agreed. Oh, and here's something very sweet from YouTube. A good bird. They say, at Q Team, I used to enjoy late night talk radio decades ago. This YouTube channel, coupled with Q, is like interactive live talk soap opera show to me. Very enjoyable. Thank you. Still pray for all souls involved. Thank you very much, a good bird. That's awesome, and thank you. We're humbled by everybody watching this. We have no idea why you are, but we're very thankful that you're here with us, because doing it alone really sucks.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on to the next Trump tweet, also from 7 hours ago. It says, Russia